Spartans! Every breath that you have taken has led you to this moment. Every drop of blood, sweat, and tear, all of it has led to where you stand right now for Sparta!
It's finally time to take a look at the Assassin's Creed set in ancient Greece, Odyssey. The name hints at an epic journey through this Greek world, and for the first time ever, focuses on choice. This new mechanic gives the franchise a whole new dimension, and gives you, the player, a unique opportunity to directly impact the story. Or, at least, that is the illusion we're presented. Right off the bat, Odyssey feels like Origins set in Greece, with a new map to explore, and oh boy, there's a lot. The map is huge, and combined with the reintroduced naval exploration and combat, there's a lot to do in the world. Unfortunately, the naval is not as enticing as Black Flag, and I don't see anyone spending tens of hours roaming the world taking out ships. Yet, you will definitely use the ship a lot, considering Greece is made up with many islands in varying sizes, so the naval plays a big part when traveling around to and from missions.
Malaka!
When starting the game, one of the first choices you have to make is whether to play as Cassandra or Alexios. And you think your choice mattered in how the story plays out. The sad thing is that it doesn't at all. The exact same story plays out and the characters around you treat you the same. And the same goes with dialogue choices. They have minor impact and mostly dictate how quickly you end conversations. You could ask a lot of questions surrounding the task or just say, "I should be going." Or in other situations, you could decide to kill someone or let them live, which will have some consequence varying of the severity of the situation. So even though it's a welcome change in terms of the RPG genre, I will come back to why I think it should never be present in an Assassin's Creed game. The story of Odyssey is diverse and gives you multiple paths to explore, yet all end up in one place. They have different Odysseys, as they call it, with quests falling under the different main paths. This gives each quest more meaning since you have the overarching collective narrative in each quest. The game starts you off in the middle of the Peloponnesian War, and sets up a family story mildly driven by vengeance. Alexios or Cassandra are confronted with characters and situations that changes their view on the world, and with that the story begins. During their odyssey, you'll get to see the world from both Spartan and Athens perspective, and really makes you deep dive into the old society. They allow you to make choices and decisions about who to follow and which side you take, but in the end, the game is forcing you through some exchanges. Overall, Assassin's Creed Odyssey delivers a memorable, fun story which I recommend everyone who loves history and RPG games to play.
Come and get it.
However, my main reason for making this is to talk about Odyssey as an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm sorry, but it's not.
Malaka!
This is where the review turns into a rant, by the way. Of course, spoiler free, so if you want to keep listening to this, just keep listening, I guess. Yes, they do have elements from the other games. Yes, there are first Civ temples and sequences, and they're pretty cool. Yes, there is playable present day. All of this has been lacking in many previous titles, so why wouldn't this be a better AC game? And in that aspect, you're sort of right. But the problem is this game is set so far back even before Origins, which means the Brotherhood hasn't been founded, the Templars are ways out, and sure, you have something similar, but that's not the point. You never play as an assassin, you never talk about other assassins, you just play as a mercenary trying to make money. And sure, that sounds a lot like Edward from Black Flag, but at least he lived in a time where the assassins was actually a thing. My biggest problem with this game is how the present day makes it sound like you have to find this ancient relic from the first Civ, because it will change everything. And yes, you do look for that, and the secrets from that is pretty cool, but the modern day or the present day narrative is so lost that the developers clearly, I can't even say that, but clearly doesn't fully commit, and that makes me sad. It doesn't feel as grand anymore. It doesn't feel huge. It doesn't feel big. It doesn't feel as important anymore. Which is why I feel I should just drop it, relaunch it, or at least make an effort. I gave this a fair shot, and I was impressed with many parts of the game. It's a great game, fun to play, exciting story, good gameplay. But it's not Assassin's Creed. It tries to be, but not fully. It tries to be an RPG, but not fully. It half-asses many things. And that is my conclusion. Odyssey tries to be both things at the same time. Assassin's Creed and an RPG, and they do not go together. The Animus lets you relive memories of what actually happened, not go in and make choices and change things for the fun of it. It's not a simulation, it's a memory sequence. The game tries to tell you otherwise, but it's wrong. Layla's tech can't fill in the gaps. I understand, but previously you had to achieve a higher level of sync to access that. Not just choose a different character and decide everything yourself. That's not reliving history, it's creating fiction. And that's what Assassin's Creed has become, an RPG game set in exciting time periods, living off its name and selling copies. If this wasn't an Assassin's Creed game, however, just a new RPG from Ubisoft titled Odyssey, it would have gotten maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But this is an Assassin's Creed game. It is getting, I would say 6, but I guess a 7 out of 10. The positives here are a well-paced story, interesting setting, beautiful graphics, and great gameplay. Like, they have all of that going for it, and they tried with everything related to Assassin's Creed, but I feel they failed, which is why I pulled it down 1 or 2 points. So I guess I would go for 7 out of 10, and I know at the end here it is not as professional maybe as the beginning. It's been a long time since I'm making videos, but anyway, I just had to get this out because yes, this is a good game. It's a great game, right? But it's not Assassin's Creed. And well, that's my review. Take it as you want. It's only my opinion. Still, I'd recommend buying the game because I'm sure you'll have a great time, because I did when not focusing on it being Assassin's Creed, which is kind of sad. The game is great, just not Assassin's Creed. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, it's Nick McCready here,